Purpose, it's not something we're born being fully aware of, though some of us get to it a bit earlier. On the other hand, most of us stumble into it due to unfortunate circumstances disguised as fortune. I was one of them. Here's my story. I woke up one day wondering how I can be surrounded by people yet still feel alone. On the other hand, I could be physically alone yet feel fulfilled, joy, peace, and love. There are so many things I've traded my life for: a prestigious job, an image, money, cars, and much more, finding myself in this never-ending race to get to somewhere I thought I needed. I noticed most of us did the same thing too, but some of us might instead indulge in drugs, violence, or sex as outlets. Either way, we're all in the chase.
How do you think you got caught in the chase?
Looking back on it now, it wasn't intentional. When I was younger, I was bullied out of the things I enjoyed doing. There were things that I had natural inclinations to do, and when I was younger, I didn't know as much as I know now to stand up for myself. So gradually I stopped doing the things that I loved doing, and I would focus more on doing the things that they said were good. It was my senior year of high school that made me realize I was trapped. I didn't know exactly how to describe it or a word to express how I felt, but I knew I was trapped. I felt like I had to put myself aside to do what was expected of me. I would come home at the end of the day and I knew I was betraying myself. I was trapped.
How did you overcome this point in your life?
So most of what was expected of me came from images. It all came from an idea that society has created for us as to what our lives should be comprised of. And with these things like the cars, and the schools, the clothes, the houses, all these things are all images that have been created for us. And each time when I pursued like the new cars or the new clothes and the new shoes, it takes work. Like, I don't go outside and pluck these things off a tree. I actually have to work for it. I have to work really hard for it, and I have to sacrifice for it. And so it's like when you put in all this work and you put in all this sacrifice, and then you get there and it doesn't really feel like anything, and it's just like there's this, it feels good the second that you get it, but like after a few hours it kind of wears off, and it's like it didn't really feel like, it didn't give you that sense of fulfillment. It was more of like, a thing that I've acquired and I crossed off, and now it's on to the next thing. So in order for me to overcome this part of my life, I started to look for something that was more concrete, something that was more grounded, and something that was going to make me feel fulfilled. So regardless of how much I sacrificed or how much I worked, I knew that it would give me a sense of fulfillment. A purpose reveals why you exist. For example, a chair was created to sit on and not for driving or swimming. The chair was created for the sole purpose of sitting. In that way, those seeking purpose know that they were created for a reason, and only them can fulfill that task due to their individual skill sets, gifts, and measure of grace. No two people have the exact same DNA. Thus, if that purpose is not fulfilled, it could be lost.
What did you struggle with when it came to finding your purpose?
Okay, through a lot of prayer and meditation, I realized that we all know our purpose. Initially, I thought that I didn't know, but I realized that we all know. The problem that we have is accepting it and making the choice to give up what we expected or what we have been conditioned to do and think to fulfill our purpose. Choosing to fulfill your purpose is not something you happily take on. Then you feel on top of the world and nothing bothers you or you have no problems. It's acknowledging that choosing your purpose is a selfless act. It requires that you put other people before yourself. And some people cannot do that because of fear of what other people might think or other versions of fear. It's not that I don't feel pain or get scared, but because of my desire to help and uplift others through my purpose, I can easily overlook it.
What are some things to ask yourself to know if you're on the right path?
You have to be really honest with yourself when you ask yourself these questions. The first question I would ask is, 1, is my current lifestyle for me or for others? The second question I would ask is, what motivates me? What keeps me pushing? The third question I would ask myself is, who am I here for? And the last question I will ask myself is, do I feel peace? And do I feel a sense of fulfillment?